to those who are particularly interested in creating a career in marketing, or for those who are involved with the marketing of products or services. This course intends to bring to you the important facets of storytelling and how it is being used today as a marketing and communication tool. In the era of automation, understanding the customer's mind becomes the cornerstone for building successful brands. Because, after all, customers have to fall in love with the product as the value proposition of the product is being built through the advertisements and the story of the brand as it unfolds for the customer. A chocolate is a chocolate is a chocolate till we say or demand Cadbury's. An ice cream is an ice cream till we ask for Amul or Baskin Robbins. Then how are these brands brought to the millions of us, and how come that millions of us understand it exactly the same way? Isn't that interesting? Well, over the next 6 weeks, we shall delve into the understanding of this secret of building brands through storytelling over time. We shall use some of the best successful campaigns that the world has seen to understand the dynamics of storytelling as a marketing and communication tool. Remember, building a brand is an investment by the owner of the brand. And it is a business of millions of rupees or any currency. So come along with me and let's take a deep dive into the world of storytelling. Let us start with why our brains are wired for a story. Long before humans learned to write, we told stories sitting around the fire. Think about it. Our ancestors didn't have a PowerPoint slide or any data chart. They only had stories. Stories of the hunt, of survival, of heroes, and of gods. These stories carried lessons, emotions, and identities. They connected people. They helped them remember. That's why, even today, thousands of years later, our brains are wired to pay attention to stories, not just plain information. From here, let us understand the neuroscience of storytelling. It's pure science. When we hear a story, something magical happens within our brains. It is not just one part that lights up. Multiple regions within our brain gets activated. Let us start with one, the sensory engagement. If a story mentions the aroma of freshly baked bread or cake, our olfactory cortex, the smell center in our brain, gets activated and we can literally smell a cake. When someone says he ran up the steep hill, our motor cortex in our brain lights up as if we are running ourselves. What does this mean? It means the brain does not differentiate much between hearing and experiencing. That's the basic reason why stories feel real to each one of us. Let's look at the emotional connection. When a story has emotional highs and lows, our brains release oxytocin, often called the empathy chemical. Oxytocin makes us care about the characters and what happens to them. So, when a brand uses storytelling, it's not selling a product, it is triggering an emotion that drives memory and decision making. Let me take the example of Google India's reunion ad. It's an ad about two childhood friends separated by the partition of India, but reunited through Google search. It's a beautiful story. It's a story which has generated tears, nostalgia, and hope, and has positioned Google not as a search engine, but as a bridge between hearts. That's oxytocin in our brain at work. Let me look into another factor, the memory retention. Research shows that people remember information told in a story up to 22x, 22 times more than facts presented in bullet points. That's because storytelling engages the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for long term memory. Our brains organize experiences as narratives with beginning, middle, and end. So when you wrap a message inside a story, it becomes sticky. Let's take the example, the classic examples of Fevicol. From that overloaded bus to the egg that won't crack. You can watch the ads here. You might forget the tagline, but you will always, always remember the image. That story is based out of memory at play. Let me now look into another hormone, the reward, the dopamine. Every time a story builds suspense and then gives us a satisfied ending, our brains are releasing dopamine, the feel good chemical. That's why we all crave for a closure that is happy ending or a plot that has got a good twist and we enjoy it. A good marketing story uses the same principle. It builds curiosity and then rewards the customer with an emotional satisfaction. कुछ मीठा हो जाए campaign of Cadbury. Each ad ends with joy and celebration. The emotion closes the loop, giving the brain a dopamine hit that connects to the product. Let's watch it here.
मुझे एक और कैडबरी दे दो गॉड प्लीज गॉड प्लीज
Stop it.
प्लीज 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 गॉड प्लीज गॉड कैडबरी दे दो गॉड कैडबरी मिल गया मेरे लिए भी मांग लेता नेक्स्ट टाइम ओके
रैपर मैं फेंक दूं?
कुछ अच्छा हो जाए, कुछ मीठा हो जाए. Cadbury Dairy Milk.
Then, my question to all of you is what is the secret sauce of these ads? Let's look into the social nature of stories. Humans, me and you, are social creatures. Our brains evolved to survive in groups and stories where we shared norms, values, and many, many stories and tales. Storytelling built trust within tribes. In modern times, brands play that same role. They are building trust communities. For example, let's take a look at the Tanishq wedding campaign. It broke stereotypes and it celebrated real love stories.
Look at my flowers. Mama, Mama, I also want to go round round.
Hey, Dia.
आज से डैडी बुलाओ.
A wedding to remember. Tanishq.
Viewers not only felt emotionally moved, but also began to trust the brand as inclusive, progressive, and culturally rooted. Well, emotions are good, but in business, data is equally important. For example, sales data or the inventory. Correct? After all, business is business. Let's have a look at how data plus the story can make an impact in business. Data will tell the facts, but the stories will sell the product. We, customers, process facts through our neocortex, which is the logic region of our brain. But stories tap into our limbic brain, the brain part of it which looks into the emotions. And it's emotion that is driving our buying decision. Let's take an example. Okay, let's look at two ads for the same car. Let's say the ad A features about the car. It says 1500cc engine, 22 kilometers per liter mileage, and it has ABS braking system. Whereas the second ad, the B, shows a father teaching his daughter how to drive and saying, because someday she will drive on her own. Which ad will you remember? Which brand will you feel connected to? That is the power of story over specifications. Let me sum it up for all of you. We spoke about multiple responses of our brain triggered by the story in the ad. But now let's look at what could be the marketing implication. So we break it into brain response, triggered by the story, and the marketing implication. Okay, brain response in the sensory cortex, right? Then we have a vivid imagery, which feels real and immersive. We are talking about the bakery ad. The brain system, limbic, which is emotional content. What is it building? Marketing implication, building empathy and trust because of the Google reunion ad. What is the sensory implication in our hippocampus? It is trying to look into the narrative structure. We are able to improve our recall. Can you think about the Fevicol ad? Right? Fevicol ka jod? Okay. The last one, I think, dopamine release. When is dopamine released in our brain? when we are looking at suspense, and finally, we are creating a reward. What is the marketing implication? It creates satisfaction and loyalty. Go back to the Cadbury ads. Before we close this video, let me share a beautiful sentence said by Brené Brown. She is a researcher and a storyteller and a podcaster who has spent more than 2 decades studying courage, vulnerability, shame, and empathy. What she says, stories are data with a soul. When marketers understand that storytelling isn't just creative fluff only, it is neuroscience, it is science of the brains, they begin to craft campaigns that actually touch our hearts, not just our pockets. Because at the end of the day, if people don't buy products, then what will happen? Stories can't stay. But if people buy stories, then definitely products are here to roll in the market.